All right, guys, Tony here with Nothing But Car Reviews, bringing you an interesting product review today. So I'm kind of just sitting here on my driveway because I have a few camping products from Traverseon. So they specialize in basically anything outdoors when it comes to lighting, you know, camping materials, cooking outside, things of that nature. So I just have a little care package here. I want to give a huge thanks to them for sponsoring this video today. But first and foremost, we have this headlamp here. And I like this because it's not flashing like that. That's just how my camera's picking it up. But the lights are very bright, as you can probably tell through the camera there. And you have a few different lighting modes, which really come in handy. So whether you need like an SOS mode there, if you just want to turn the lights on bright, you know, just several different functions. And then it charges on USB-C, so pretty easy to charge it up. The port is there, then you have a power button there, and then you can actually see with these 4 lights how much battery you have in it. So it's a simple product, but very useful. You can put it on your head and you can kind of recline based on if you want to see straight ahead of you, if you want to see kind of a little down, you know what I mean? So there's that. This, it's between these two really. That's freaking awesome, but these two are my favorites just because of my overall usability of things like this. Specifically being out here in the country where I am now, it's a lot to really kind of get out here and do things, especially at night. There are critters all over the place. You can't see what's in front of you. So this here is solar powered. So I get a lot of light out here. So I'm able to charge this just by having it sit outside. And then you have several different light functions. The brightness of this right here is insane. You have a few different levels there. So here is the spotlight there, which is very bright and can see pretty far ahead. This doesn't even do it justice. You can see it kind of on the ground here, even though it's the middle of the day, but at night, this thing will shine pretty much as far as I can see, which is great. And then again, 3 different brightness levels there. And then what's cool is you can put it on a tripod or something like that and use it as like a studio light or whatever. And then you have a USB port there, and then you can light it up or see the battery life with the light there. So it's pretty neat. If I can get it, it's kind of hard to do with one hand, but I really like that. And the solar panel is right there, and that kind of recharges the battery while it's not in use. Now this here is neat because it doesn't have the solar panel, but you have a USB-C port there, and it's pretty neat. So you could just hit the light. You have several different light functions there. It's a camping lantern, but then it's also repellent. So you have different light functions. You can have the bottom light and the top light on. You can have just the top light on, just the bottom, and then you can hold it to turn it off. But here, hit this button, you get a little light there, or you have to hit it twice, that's right. So hit this little light, it'll tell you when it's green, and then when it's green, you can go through the levels there, and those actually control how much of the repellent comes out here. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, this thing works because it's pretty rank for these mosquitoes. So I really like that. Of course, it's getting colder out now, so not able to use it as much, but when it was hot like 3 days ago, because I'm in Tennessee, of course, it was putting in work. It really was. And it's pretty nice to be able to put this on your belt loop or something like that to kind of keep it around you without having to hold it. And then the tripod is kind of there if you're at a campsite, in a tent, or, you know, outside around the fire. You can keep that going to keep the mosquitoes away. Now, I think the coolest product, not my favorite necessarily because I don't really cook like that, but the coolest product is going to be this 3800 watt stove here. So this, it looks like I don't even know what it looks like, but all you have to do is hook this thing up to butane here, which I've done. Turn the gas on, and you hear that going. Watch this. There's a flip of the switch, and that thing gets hot. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but I can see the gas kind of spewing off. You can probably see the flame a little bit. but pretty easy to do. You want to make sure that this hose is all the way extended so you can get the full force of the gas there, but it's pretty neat. And that's a blue flame coming up right there. Yeah, you can see it if you look closely. And you can just use that, set a pot on there and cook outside. And it's pretty cool, I think. Now for me, I don't like playing with fire, so it's not something I would use regularly unless I was in a controlled environment like this. That's why I'm sitting on the ground. But it is a really cool product, especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you want to cook something. Then all you need is a can of butane there and the grill, and it's actually warming my foot up. So it's a pretty neat product, I think. All of this stuff is really cool, but this is probably the most intriguing for those of us that like to cook outside. You don't have to build a fire or anything like that. And again, it's controlled. You can put a pot there and it's just simple to use. So I want to give one more thanks to Traverseon for allowing me to review these products today. I'll leave a link below in the description. Make sure you click on that to get the best possible price on this package. But highly recommend if you're into camping, being outdoors, things of that nature, and especially with old Mini Winnie over there. Plan on using this for quite some time, specifically these 3 items, but probably that in the future as well. So again, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.